Hello, everybody. Today, I just found out that I am the guest for this interview. I have a literal bowl of questions here that was asked to who? No, asked to who?
From who?
Yeah, from who? And no, from who?
You found out that I wrote the names on it.
Okay.
Oh no, I can't do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
I think I'm just gonna jump into it. I know already that I want to be a marine biologist. Of course, that can change, I guess. It sounds like a good concept to me because I like doing lab stuff, but I also I like the scientific side of things, but I also like the in the field type of things. I want to specify in sharks, of course, and of course that can help with research to their conservation. So that's where I see myself in 20 years. And how much of a difference do you think you can make in the world of marine conservation? I believe everyone can make a difference, and everything counts, no matter how big or small. So I think I can make a pretty big difference if I just do a lot of research, if I educate myself enough, if I educate others enough. That's already a big enough difference. And the more people I am able to make aware, the more the message will spread, the more the conservation will spread. So thank you, Bob, for this question. Oh, thanks a lot, Sandy. I like to chew my mouthpiece. I don't know why. The little attachment on it was like it broke, and so I was underwater. And I hate Sandy for asking me this question. And it broke underwater, and for some reason, which I hope doesn't make me like a bad diver, my first instinct wasn't to go to my second thing. It was just to go to the person in front of me, which was the instructor. I went to him, and then he just gave me his alternate, and then we had just seen a shark also. So maybe just the excitement overall just made me and then it went and the shark got scared away. So that's what happened. That's the dive where my mouthpiece broke. Next, this is actually kind of exciting. This is actually something that I ask my guests. It's hard to say. First of all, I can't memorize the dive sites that I've been to. Good thing I have a logbook because I can't memorize it. In my early years of diving, I can't exactly remember how the reef was. And also it's because when it's more shallow, obviously I was shallower and then I went deeper, deeper, deeper. When it's more shallow, there's a lot more light and it looks a lot more vibrant. I guess it's had its ups and downs. Like I've seen coral reefs and then they were bombed, and then there's other coral reefs which got better. So I guess that depends on the coral reef. I think the biggest one is when you have beginner divers, to get them to really control their buoyancy so that they don't kick the coral. So the buoyancy is really important, because if they sink to the bottom and then they try to kick upwards, then they're going to kick the coral. And also don't touch marine life. Just educate them on the small little things that they can do to when they start off their dive journey, and also just telling them how rich the marine life here is, how you don't want to damage it. The less we lose, the less we have to regain. So yes, thank you, Mark. I'm avoiding the big one. I'm scared of what this one might be. So, this is another big one. Okay, this is a previous guest as well. The Great Barrier Reef. That's one I really want to go to. I want to explore a cave. That's my latest guest, Christina Zanato. She made me want to go into caves, so I want to go into caves. And definitely, and I know my dad will support me on this, I want to dive in New Caledonia. By the way, if there's any scientists or like biologists out there who can tell me, especially, I want to know why sharks are getting really excited in New Caledonia. Apparently, there's like a shark attack every week. I thought it was maybe like a mating zone, or like there was enough food and they were like going crazy over the first thing they see that moves. But I don't know, apparently it's not that. Scientists are baffled in New Caledonia, so please tell us. But apparently there's a lot of sharks there, so I really want to go dive there. Sipadan, I want to go to Sipadan. I feel like I'm so close to going to Sipadan. I think maybe I wouldn't do the chumming waters or feeding them if it's done regularly. And also there's just that, like, they're in their feeding frenzy and you're kind of like in the middle. Like, I've read a book, actually I did a post on that. I need to go get it. I still have to finish reading it. A book like by Ocean Ramsey about sharks, and in one of the chapters, she said that if you have like different, like suddenly different colored like pieces of clothing, like you have a different colored glove, then they might confuse that with like a fish or something. So if they're like in the middle of a feeding frenzy and you're kind of in the middle, it wouldn't scare me. It would kind of just make you feel like uncomfortable. And they're just like circling you. It's just, I don't know. I don't think I would do that. Building a cage, I don't think I'd do that either. Why? Because I don't want to be in a cage. Let me out. I would want to dive freely with them. I think maybe my first shark would be one of my favorite things that I've seen, just because it was my first one. I was so excited. Sharks or octopus and like cuttlefish. Yeah, maybe that's my favorite thing that I've seen, just because octopus and cuttlefish, they like stick around and you can actually like see them and have a moment with them, whereas sharks just like poof, gone. Oh, definitely a wow moment that I had was my first dive. Of course, that was a wow moment. That was a huge wow moment for me. We went down and then we swam for a bit. We saw like something. I saw something. I don't know what I saw. A colorful rock, maybe. And I would go back up. I would tell her, let's go up. And then I would tell her, that was so cool. And then we go back down and then again. And then I would go up 2 seconds later. That was great. That was how the whole dive went. We stayed there for like an hour, and I kept on going up and down, telling her how cool everything was. Another wow moment, I think, is like in Kota Balud, it's the big structures, the huge rocks. So like fascinating to me to see these huge, it was like huge boulders and huge rocks, and then there was like schools of fish. It was just the whole landscape was so beautiful and so wow, and you're just floating in the middle of that. Okay, next one. I think, okay, this is one of my followers on Facebook. I actually have a subject that I know I will like that I don't have yet, and that's biology. I mean, in science we do like a few biology related things, but like I know that there's a subject called biology, and I know I'm gonna like that. I like all subjects, to be honest, but I think I might have a slight preference towards science. Knowing how things work is one of the greatest things to me. My ultimate goal for Seed of Hope is to grow as much as possible, grow my audience, and then therefore grow the awareness. And of course, spread as much of awareness as I can, because then that would mean there would be more people involved in conservation, hopefully. And also raise as much funds as I can for marine conservation organizations that are doing everything they can to protect the underwater world, and also inspire kids to do something to protect, conserve nature where they live, and get as many kids on board as I can, because we are the next generation and we have to fight for our future. So as many kids as possible is going to make the biggest difference. One thing listeners won't know about me is I do karate. I'm a karate kid. I'm a black belt in karate, actually. I started when I was 5 or 4, I think 5 maybe. And I've done competitions and things. And I've done it for a very long time, and I love it, and I don't want to stop now. Obviously, it's come to a halt because of COVID, but so that's one thing you guys maybe don't know about me. I'm gonna pick this one. Okay. This is one of the followers on Facebook. Okay. COVID has impacted my life. First of all, I can't go out, which is really annoying. I'm a very outdoorsy and energetic person, so I have to be contained in this house. It's a bummer. And the rare times where I can go out, I have to wear a mask. So, and it's very different, social distancing. It just feels very distant from the rest of the world. For my studies, well, it's nothing too serious, but it's just I don't really like online learning. I get distracted very easily, and also I don't get to do all the like fun practical stuff that I would have normally done in real physical school. I don't get to see my friends. I don't get to socialize with anybody. And for the Seed of Hope projects, obviously I can't go out to do what I had planned to do. I can't go out to meet people for real. But there has been some somewhat positive aspects, like I'm given a lot more time um, for myself and for Seed of Hope. And also, I'm able to join things that would normally be in one region in the world, and I'm able to join them online, like Youth Ocean Conservation Summit and Children for the Oceans. Those two things would never have happened without COVID. So I guess there was a bit of a positive side to it as well. Of course, I'm going to do diving forever and ever and ever until I can't do it anymore. Yes, since I want to be a marine biologist, so far, what I know about marine biologists is that they do half of their work diving and they do half of the work in the lab. Of course, there's probably some, maybe I'm wrong about it, but I think, and even if I can't do diving while I'm a marine biologist, which wouldn't really make sense, I'm still gonna keep it as a hobby. It's so amazing. You're breathing underwater. You're in a whole different world. You learn so much more about life as well on land. You learn so much more about how the ocean is affecting you, affecting the global problems that we have today, how it's helping that. So diving is definitely gonna be part of my life forever and ever and ever. And I'm going to get as many people as I possibly can into diving. So thank you for that, Richard. I think maybe I'm a little biased about this because they're my favorite animals, but I think I would create a shark finning ban, because at the end of the day, sharks keep our oceans healthy through many different reasons. And without them, our oceans would be dead, very unhealthy, populations would be very unhealthy, and it would be like a catalyst to all the threats that are happening today to our world anyway. And also because it's really just unnecessary, it doesn't add any nutritional benefit to the person who's eating it. And the consequences, to be honest, there are very little consequences. It's a lot because of the high demand that shark fin soup has, and the $1 million industry that it is, which is why fishermen rely on it as a big income source. But without the huge consumer demand, fishermen would be able to fish something else. And so it wouldn't create a massive, like, it wouldn't take away jobs, they would just fish for something else. It's a very limited amount of consequences for a big benefit in the end. That would be my number one legislation to create. But thank you, Christina, for the question. I understand that it might feel scary or, dangerous, but it's really not as dangerous as driving a car or going in a plane or walking down the street. It's been done for a lot of generations, and it's been tested by a lot of people. Millions of people do it still today, and millions of people come out of it happy and satisfied and loving it. Also, we live on Borneo. We are currently on Borneo. And Borneo is one of the best spots that you can possibly start your diving journey because you're in the middle of the Coral Triangle. You have sunny weather. It's the perfect condition for diving all year long. And there's so many dive sites. There's so much biodiversity here. It's an amazing spot to start your diving journey. It really is, and I can tell you firsthand. Also, your child will be surrounded by professionals all the time, and you can accompany them. You can do what feels comfortable for you. They will not go past their safe limits. The PADI system, but that's because that's the one I know, is very organized. It's very progressive. So your child will have the qualification and will know the skills to get that qualification. I wouldn't be here without diving. So it opens so many doors to your child, so many opportunities, it can open a new passion, a new hobby, or a new life path. I didn't know I wanted to be a marine biologist before I started diving. And it can teach them so much about the ocean, about even life on land, about how much we depend on the ocean. And that is crucial when you're trying to get a whole new generation of conservationists. And we need as many kids as we can possibly have in conservation right now. And diving is the key to starting marine conservation. It really is special, and your kids will fall in love with it. I guarantee it. I'm done. This is so fun. Okay, I am done. Thank you to everybody who has given me a question, asked me a question. Thank you to the people watching. Thank you for watching. And I hope this was interesting enough. I hope you found more things. I hope you found out more things about me. Overall, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye.